All right, also speaking of, just a little bit of musical talent that happens to be about, that bloke Sam Fischer. Got a great story about a bloke who was born in regional Australia, has been able to take his talents all the way to Los Angeles, and I think by the end of this, if you were a fan of his singing, but what about this as a bloke? A genuine guy who you couldn't be happier, is absolutely killing it around the world, signing with a massive label like Sony, going on big-time TV shows and slumming it with me.
I try not to think about it. Would I love to be in studio with you right now in Australia? Yeah, absolutely. Would I have loved to go on tour and do all these things? Yeah, for sure. But look, like, all artists are in the same position. We're all having to cope with it from our apartments and houses, and I am just grateful to get these opportunities and to be busy. I think without it, I would be, I don't know, sitting on my hands wondering what's next. So it's nice to kind of be constantly going right now.
Have you gone through the 12 steps of quarantine where, you know, partly a little bit crazy, partly a little bit lazy, partly a bit overly excited, and have you got into a groove now where you're able to do some writing? How is it working creatively to be locked in your house?
Yeah, I mean, look, I have been sent a world of technology from the label. They sent me a camera. I've got a full recording setup, so I'm able to continue to create. I think right now, because it's such a weird emotion, I think we're all going through this stress and this like trauma. I don't really know how to talk about it yet. So when I'm writing, I guess I'm not really trying to write about what's going on right now, because I don't want to keep reminding everyone that this is what we're going through. So I have been able to create, but I'm definitely trying to be a little more kind to myself to in case I have a day where I'm just not in the mood to create. That's okay.
Absolutely,
it's been an adjustment.
Yeah, I get this feeling that, you know, I think we can all bet that there's going to be a lot of, you know, pandemic babies that are going to be punching out in about 9 months. I also have a feeling that every movie, every book, every delayed tweet and every song is going to be about claustrophobia, loneliness, frustration, helplessness. I have a slight feeling that there's going to be a big theme coming. So is there part of you that, again, when you do choose to create, you're going, look, I'm assuming everyone else is writing about this. I'm going to try and maybe the opportunity is to write the opposite.
I mean, look, like, I always go by, you know, writing what you know. And I think that a positive way of looking at it would be just to write about mental health. I hope there is a bigger focus on mental health, especially in music and in all parts of life, because I think before all this, it felt like the world was just going. It was getting to a point where we were, I don't know, it was so much tension. It was kind of only, I don't know, maybe this is Mother Nature saying, reset, just chill out, sit at home. But yeah, I think I'm just going to continue doing what I do. And if the songs come out and they're really depressing, people will know what I went through when I was going through this. But yeah. I think I think music is such a powerful tool to give people a safe place to feel what they're feeling and not feel ashamed of it. So that's what I'll try to do, I guess.
Yeah, it's that thing. I mean, you know, reading about you, of course, is that, you know, you've written some for some pretty massive names, you know, Keith Urban and plenty of others. Were you consciously? Is it hard to write in somebody else's voice when clearly you've got this little voice inside you that was ready to break out?
I mean, look, every song that I write comes from a personal place. And for me, I love being a writer. I love being the one to take someone else's story or to give someone a story and watching how they interpret the original story of the song. So that has been a really, really cool experience. Have there been times when I've written a song and really wanted to keep it for myself? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know, I guess as much as my songs are my babies, I think that it's always really amazing to be in a room with an artist that you love and respect and are a fan of and hear them sing words that you've written and melodies that you've written. So I don't know. I'm just grateful to have had the opportunity. It's crazy I can say that I have a Keith Urban song. And like, it's, you know, that means Nicole Kidman's heard it.
Let's talk about the song. This City, written I think back in 2016. What's it about? What inspired you? Was it an easy write? Lots of edits, lots of go backs? Did it just fall out of you?
It Yeah, so I wrote it in 2016. I'd been in LA for 2 years. I wanted LA more than LA wanted me. And I was trying to find myself in LA, and in doing that completely lost myself because I was trying to find the version that would fit in LA. And so this song was my cry for help. It was my diary entry, and it fell out of me at the session. And we just kind of, we talked for like an hour with the guys I wrote it with, and then it just kind of came out. And I didn't really ever intend on anyone hearing it because for me it was just something that I had to get off my chest. And so to be here in 2020 and talking to you, it's pretty unbelievable. And to hear how it's affected so many people around the world is just something that I never even ever thought possible. It was only a far distant dream. So to be here is a bit nuts. But yeah, it's my love-hate relationship with LA. Sure.
I've only ever visited a few times. I never quite visit the right way. It always feels a bit wrong. I'm more of a New York guy, certainly a Las Vegas guy. But, you got to hook me up with how it actually works, because otherwise you sort of just look around going, where does everyone go? I know there's millions of people here, but where are they all?
I mean, listen, mate, I've lived here for 6 years and I'm still like that. I wish that I could walk down the street and bump into someone I love, but it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, it's a
lonely city.
Yeah, but also, isn't it amazing that, the moment you were having 4 years ago, of course you don't know, this is going to be the case, but the way lightning strikes for you is a moment 4 years later. It's incredible. I mean, we talk a lot about beating the curve, ahead of the curve, all the rest of it here. But the idea that those emotions, as lonely as they felt, can be as universal as they have been, which I also think is a little bit of a reminder. And what I want people to enjoy about the song when they hear it a little bit later is that, again, you've just heard the story about how it was written, about how private it was, about how a diary it was, but the fact that so many people have fallen in love with it and see something in common with it, Sam, it reminds us that even when we are at our loneliest, we are actually feeling a very familiar emotion.
Absolutely. And I mean, just to tack on to the end of what you just said, feeling alone and hearing this song, just know that there are other people out there, including myself, who have felt exactly what you're going through.
Very good bloke. Sam Fischer is his name. He'll perform that big song for us in a couple of minutes' time.